Okay, next question. Next question, number 4, is from Andy Rooney. This is a long one, so I'll try to read it as quickly as I can. I read the New Yorker piece on you and checked out all the Amazon reviews of the 4-Hour Body. The New Yorker article made you out to be a sort of flim-flam man, and the Amazon reviews seem to support this position. The vast majority of your 1,600 exclamation point, exclamation point, exclamation point reviews seem to be set up by you so that you get tons of 5-star reviews with no substance, basically one-sentence raves. And any critical 1-star reviews that analyze your regimen were instantly attacked. How do you answer these claims? Well, this is a pretty loaded question. It's kind of like asking a presidential candidate, how do you feel about evading the draft when he or she did not say any such thing? But I will answer it, and I'll go into some depth. So the first thing I would say right off the bat is that you should be very skeptical of reviews online, and for that matter, just about anywhere else. But in the case of Amazon specifically, I wouldn't look at 1- or 5-star reviews when evaluating a product or a book. I always look at the most helpful 3- and 4-star critical reviews. They tend to give the most, I would say, objective analyses, reviews of different things, and they point out the holes. And I suggest you look at those first and foremost. The couple of things. So the book, I put a lot of effort into my books, and a lot of people know me as a marketer, but the reality is I think that to last on, let's say, the bestseller list, you can certainly game it for a week or two. A lot of people do. I would say more than half of the books on the business bestseller list at any given time have been bought onto the list. Payola, as it's called on the billboard. And that can be done for, let's say, $250,000. I've never done that. I do know people do it. But the 4-Hour Workweek was on the New York Times for 4 years, something like that, straight, unbroken, and is still on and off. 4-Hour Body, also more than a year. So I'd like to think there's some content there that people like, some people. And my goal is not to appeal to everybody. I think that if you have a strong opinion about any subject, you're going to polarize, and people are either going to love your stuff or hate your stuff for whatever reason. I look like a Long Island frat boy, I don't know what it is, but some people get a very, very strong negative reaction to me, and I'm okay with that, because I think it's more about how many people get it, not how many people don't get it, if you're trying to convey a message. But let's look at two things. So the first is the most highlighted books of all time on Amazon Kindle. You can just look that up. Right now in the top 10, from number 1 down, we have Bible, Steve Jobs, Bible, Hunger Games, 7 Habits of Highly Effective People, The 4-Hour Body, Bible, Girl with the Dragon Tattoo, The 4-Hour Workweek, Bible. So that has not been gamed. That's a lot of highlights of content. So I'd like to think there's some value there. I spend a lot of time on my books. Not everyone's going to like them. I get it. Okay, looking at the reviews, I'm not going to go too deep on this, but looking at the reviews for the 4-Hour Body, which you mentioned. So hold on, let me click through here. So there are 1,671 reviews. The 4-Hour Workweek has 2,000, close to 2,300. I'm going to sort by newest first. I've been on Book Deadline for the last 6 months. I have not looked at any of this stuff. So we have a 5-star review, which is 1 paragraph. We have a 1-star review, Charlatan. So the first one is from a guy who learned about it on the Nerds podcast, lost 17 pounds in a month and a half. Charlatan, once again, Tim Ferriss proves there's a sucker born every minute, etc. No one's attacking that guy. Then we have 5-star, 5-star, and these are range from 4 paragraphs to 1 paragraph. There are a couple of 1-sentence guys out there, but that's true for almost any of the rankings. 3 stars. Out there but interesting. That's 4 paragraphs. 5-star, 2 paragraphs. And a couple more 5 stars. Dubious, 2 stars. This is 4 paragraphs. Nobody's attacking him. And then, I'm not going to do this much longer. There's one more point I want to make though. Then there's a 4-star, strange ... yet true ? And it's extensive. This is a really good review. Definitely points out some things that I guess Loy, in this case, does not like. Just totally fair, but it's a solid review. This is a 4-star, and it goes on. So that is to say that I don't think your assessment of the 5-star reviews having no substance, certainly not being set up by me. After I set up outsourcing my dating as a stunt, this is a PR stunt. So I hired teams around the world to use Elance and other tools to go on Match.com and whatever, and not impersonate me, mind you, but send emails and whatnot saying, dear so-and-so, my name is Venkatesh on behalf of Mr. Tim Ferriss, to set coffee dates for me uh, on one main street, and I had something like 20 some odd dates, 24 dates in one weekend, and it was a PR stunt to get some coverage for the book. Ever since then, people feel like I am ubiquitous, or there's the mistaken belief that I'm everywhere and I have thousands of armies of Indians and Filipinos doing my bidding. That's not the case. Right now, I have no outsourced help whatsoever, with the exception of my executive assistant, who's in Canada with her kids. But I don't think your data are correct on the reviews. That's the short answer. Let's see. All right, so moving on. New Yorker. Okay, so let's talk about media. Actually, one more point on the reviews. So one thing that's very common, actually it's standard, is ever since publishing has existed pretty much, publisher will send out advanced copies to reviewers, to magazine editors, to bloggers in more recent times. And of course, when those books are sent out, they're sent out to people that you would hope or expect will like the book. That is how many books have reviews on the same day. And it's not surprising that those reviews tend to be positive if the book is half decent, because those are advanced copies that are sent out. Every single publisher, every single author does this. So that might answer another question about the fast reviews. How do people read it so quickly? Advanced copies, they get sent out. On the New Yorker piece, if you want to see an attack piece, I have a much better suggestion, which is the New York Times review of The 4-Hour Body by Dwight Garner, Garner. It's actually really freaking hysterical. I encourage you to check it out. It is very, very well written. But that is on the negative end of the spectrum. The New Yorker piece is very much in the middle. I mean, they report on rumors, positive and negative, they throw that in. But I was congratulated on that piece, so I don't read it as totally negative. They did misquote me a few times, which was, I think it's sad to see the New Yorker come to that, especially after the fact-checking, but you're always going to be misquoted. There are a lot of people who don't do print interviews anymore because of the misquote factor. On the positive side, if you want to see that end of things, then you have Outside Magazine, Cover Story, and so forth. So it runs the entire gamut. And if you're going to have a strong opinion, like I said, about anything, or put yourself out in the public, you're going to get attacked. Rumors are going to fly all over the place. I mean, according to rumors, I'm gay. I have an Asian fetish, which, well, I guess that means I'm infatuated with Asian men. And I have these hordes of armies of thousands of starving third world people working on my behalf, even though they're slaves, and so forth and so on. And it's a bunch of silliness. But, you know what? I would say, in the end, again, when in doubt, trust the recommendations of your friends, and don't follow the online stuff. But hopefully that answers and addresses your concerns. So moving on to the next question.